The idea or concept specifically for a son of Batman or Bruce Wayne date back to roughly the 1940s all the way through to the 1980s, with golden and silver age Batman comic book stories that speak of a son of Batman, but at the time, the idea or series implementation chronologically for a son of Batman was never taken seriously in the official mainstream DC Comics universe, because it would mean naturally that the identity of Batman would be passed from father to son and might diminish the overall quality or importance of Batman within DC Comics. Writers originally didn't want the concept for Batman to be a father due to how Bruce Wayne became Batman with his own parents being murdered. The general consensus were at the time is that Bruce Wayne is actually a bad father figure or bad mentor. The belief actually has validity due to the fact that this belief among Batman comic readers were strengthened at the time with the details and facts that with the rift that developed between Batman and Robin, with Dick Grayson later becoming a hero in his own right by becoming Nightwing, and Jason Todd being killed by the Joker with death in the family. The idea of someone being Batman should be that it was only Bruce Wayne and could only be Bruce Wayne. The very notion of someone else, anyone else, through a child of Batman or Bruce were forbidden, and the ideas, stories, were never taken or implemented seriously. The first real conclusive definition of a son for Batman in modern comics is Batman, Son of the Demon, which would actually influence all other future writers on the very premise of a son for Batman. The story had actually been written and published by DC Comics in 1987, although it was argued that Batman's successor was that of Helena Wayne, his daughter, the second woman to be called the Huntress, whom debuted 10 years prior in 1977. The next time there would be an official reference to a son of Batman is in Kingdom Come, as this character would be called Son of the Bat. In 2006, writer Grant Morrison would introduce the official modern version of the son of Batman as Damian Wayne in Batman and Son. A smart decision of his was to connect his character of Damian Wayne to the much respected Son of the Demon story. Throughout the early years of the character in DC Comics publications, commentators and even some critics with fans called the concept of the character essentially that of a Mary Sue, a literary term to push one's own character in print more than established characters or better suited characters for a said story arc or situation. While Grant Morrison is a talented writer, there were plenty of criticisms of the fact that he promoted his incarnation of Batman's son more than the other established sons in Batman comic chronological history. But even though the character divided many readers' opinions, through DC's sheer force of pushing the character onto readers and having the character prominently displayed in the Batman family, the character of Damian Wayne later gained somewhat of a credible position within the Batman family and related media presented by DC. But there are still those whom dislike the fact that Batman has a son in modern official DC Comics, and in such a way there is no universal consensus of like or dislike for the character. There are those who like the character, and there will be those who dislike the character. A character can be overrated but hated because a newer character is connected to an older story.